Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
The temperatures near record setting across the southeast and cold enough for snow right now in Denver.
Yeah, a lot of us are dealing with the type of weather that you got to watch out for, though. Hence all of the alerts that you see here. A lot of those winter alerts associated with Winter Storm Xylia, of course, but we've got some others as well.
Yeah, you're thinking, oh, it's a nice day in D.C., Philly. Look at this. We have fire weather or red flag warnings here because our fire danger, our wildfire danger is pretty high. It's something you don't think of all the time in this part of the country.
Not something you see often there. Snow, something that you see quite often in Denver, but this type of snow, not so much. That's where we find Jen. More of a quick mover than the system that brought us or is bringing us Xylia right now. So our current system cut off from the main flow, but this system will not be. It's going to help kind of kick that system out, and this one is going to blast through. We're starting to see some of those impacts already along the west coast. And as Paul mentioned, we've got those winter alerts coming up, winter storm warnings, especially for the higher elevations of the Sierras, and then winter weather advisories for portions of Northern California that you can see there. Here's what's going to happen as we head throughout the day. We'll have that rain moving in along the coast of the Pacific Northwest. This is going to stretch all the way down south of the Bay Area, almost to San Luis Obispo, and then eventually moving into the LA area early Monday morning. And the good news about this is look what happens across Nevada, across the Four Corners region. We're getting a little bit of precipitation. We'll take anything that we can get to help with those drought conditions. Now, as we head into the drier months, what you really want is some of that snow in the mountains, and we're going to add to it again, up to a foot maybe across some of the higher elevations. Closer, lower to the ground, you won't see quite as much from this system. You will not see nearly as much from this system as you are seeing from Xylia and the Rockies and the high plains, but we are going to add to what you have right now. So as that new system moves east, it's also going to be encountering some very warm, moist air across the southeastern portions of the U.S., and because of that, we could see some severe storms, especially the middle part of next week, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. We'll still head on weekend recharge. Winter Storm Xylia continuing to coat Denver with snow. We're going to talk about that coming up. Wet snow. So we could certainly see those power outages going up. Jen also mentioned about the air travel that we are having issues with, delays, cancellations, booked flights, and if you get you got some turbulence to deal with. Look at all of these turbulence reports coming out across the Northeast, really across the entire U.S. You're getting some reports of turbulence here or there, and of course terrible travel conditions across portions of the high plains and the Rockies that are dealing with this system right now. Denver, Cheyenne still stuck in that snowfall, and we've got that upslope flow going. The foothills getting absolutely dumped on. Here's what we're expecting. As you could probably guess, all the red bubbles, those are bad news. That is expected high weather impacts at airports from this system. And then also, when you're talking about travel, sometimes we say dangerous, sometimes we say, it's not going to be good for travel. Travel impossible across portions of southeast Wyoming where we're having some of those blizzard conditions. You can see it here as we take a closer look. Cheyenne to Rollins, Rock Springs, you guys are stuck in some of that nasty weather. I-80 is going to be a mess in some places where we're talking about visibility down to feet. We had a shot earlier where you could it was definitely less than a quarter of a mile of visibility. And here's the thing, we are not done yet. We could still see a foot of snow more for some places there around Fort Collins, up across southeastern portions of Wyoming, and then as you look towards southern South Dakota as well. So we are so far from being done with Xylia, Paul. To let you know that the conditions could deteriorate and turn into flooding conditions, and that's what we have through this afternoon as rain is going to continue falling there across portions of the Ozarks, and a lot of showery activity where you're seeing the lighter greens here. But we also have some heavier rain. Kansas City, you've been stuck in the showers. Des Moines to Iowa, all the way to North Platte. That would be such a wet, messy ride this morning. We've got some heavy rain there just north of I-80 at this point. Sioux City, you've seen some heavy rain as well. We are starting to see this moisture kind of clear out from the southwest to the northeast, but Concordia, Emporia, you guys are still stuck in it. Wichita, I think you should be done for a little while, although I'm not going to say you're completely done. Now, here's the thing. A lot of this area, especially across northern Missouri, is highly steeped in agriculture. And when you're talking about soil moisture being below average, that's obviously not a great thing. But the other side to this coin is the ground can only soak up so much water, and when it can't soak up anymore at one time, it has to go somewhere. It ends up going into our rivers, and that's why we have so many river gauges in minor to moderate flood stage right now. We're expecting that to increase and worsen as we head through the next 5 days. A place like Springfield, a couple more inches for you on top of the already 5 inches that you've seen so far this month. And of course, that's not the only thing that we got to keep an eye on, Paul.
No. Ooh, look at that. It's National Bubble Week. It's starting the National Bubble Week, and
I'm here for all of these bubbles.
we're doing our car wash. But hey, it's also, we're going to multitask. It's National Potato Chip Day as well as Pie Day. We had to cover up the label so our bosses don't get mad at us. So let's give you bubbles, potato chips, and car wash weather. Miami. Yeah, wash up the whip.
Man, you're really multitasking right now.
If I can only eat.
You really just can't eat the potato chips and talk. It's so...
So you dance, I'll talk about Chicago. Okay. We got snow coming. You want to wait a day or two. Omaha, little windy.
6 feet.
Hey, 6 feet now. That's a whole bubble. Snow there in Denver. You want to wait a couple of days for it all melts, and you really have to wash the car and all the salt off. At Billings, breezy day for you, but we do have a dry day in store for you, so you can work your bubbles, your chips,
pie.
And your pie.
Yes, happy Sunday.
See you guys.